Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chat with Nene Alice. If this is your first time tuning in to Chat with Nene Alice, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to give your comments because together we can all improve on this channel. Today, I have with me a friend, a sister, and a development expert. She's here with us, and we're going to talk about how do we build our self-esteem as women who have so many things going on in our lives. We are mothers, we are career women, and we are wives as well. And we want to, just talk a little bit about how we think we can just build up our self-esteem and continue to be that woman that we had always wanted to be. So I have with me Zainab, and Zainab Senesi is here with me today. And she's so happy to be here. I remember when I sent the message to her and the feedback she gave to me. So I'm also very happy to have you on this channel. And first of all, I want to wish you Ramadan Kareem because she's also a very strong Muslim woman. And I know she has gone through the fasting and she's good at this point. Okay, so Zainab, can you just say hello to viewers and introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Zainab Senesi. A freelance consultant. I am a specialist on gender, humanitarian response, and fundraising.
Okay, so that's Zainab for you. She's so many person in one. And today we're going to talk about self-esteem. First of all, Zainab, I want you to tell viewers what is your understanding about self-esteem.
In my opinion, self-esteem is what you think about yourself. Yeah, it might be a high feeling, it might be a low feeling, it might be in between. It's basically how do you see yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's how you see yourself. Okay, so do you think that as women we need to first of all assess ourselves before we can, show up in public, or we use that as as something that will motivate some other people?
Well, Alice, to be honest, women, we suffer low self-esteem more because, as you know, our context is a very patriarchal context, and patriarchy is one thing that push a woman down, and it gives us very limited space to be able to have self-esteem, to be able to believe in ourselves. Yeah, and it only takes women who have gone through a process of understanding themselves and also a process of understanding this context in which we live in, and we're bold enough to take that space. That's when you see as a woman, I have self-esteem, or as a woman, I believe in myself.
Okay. So what are the ingredients that you need, to build your self-esteem?
In order for you to build your self-esteem, one thing that you have to do is you have to have the ability of loving yourself. Because one thing I always say is a person mirrors themselves. Yeah. So you have to love yourself enough for you to be able to love another person. It's the level of which you love yourself. That's how you're able to love another person. Two, you have to be happy, and you will only be happy based on how much you love yourself. I know as I'll call myself thick madam. As a woman with my volume, yeah, one of the things that this context puts us through is to struggle with our weight. And in order for you to feel comfortable in your flesh, it takes a huge amount of self-love. So when you transcend those boundaries and you're able to feel comfortable in your size, that's one way that you're showing that you love yourself.
Okay, and you came up with something very, very important. In this country, Sierra Leone, there is what we call, people will look at you and just say, Zainab, you're just a fat, which, is body shaming, and, it affects our self-esteem. As, how have you dealt with that over the years?
Well, Alice, to be honest with you, when I started growing up as a child, because of this small, they have talked when they eat,
Mm-hmm.
I struggled with as a child. And unfortunately, I grew up as a child. I started growing up big as well, especially big down below.
Mm-hmm.
So, if, for example, there are people sitting here, I wouldn't dare pass. I would always be ashamed to pass by. But when I found myself, and especially when I found myself as a feminist, I was able to love my body. I was able to know that in this flesh, it's just me, it's nobody else. So what you feel about me is your opinion, and that's how I've been able to relate with other people. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't make me thin, why should my fat bother you?
I know, right?
And all of that, as you said, body shaming is a very huge ingredient that eats our self-esteem.
Okay. All right. So, I just wanted to, to highlight that so that viewers out there can know that you have to be confident in your skin. Whether you are too skinny or whether you have a lot of flesh. And these days, everybody is showcasing their body. And you have to be proud of yourself. Be proud of who you are and celebrate yourself. And talking about celebrate yourself, as women, how do we celebrate ourselves? Because that also helps us to build our self-esteem.
As women, one way I think as a woman you celebrate yourself is, do you practice self-care? Do you just sit and say, oh, I think I need a massage? And plus, you know, when you say this a false life necessity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how as a woman, how would you sit and you just perceive that all is not right with you? You know, when something changes, you're able to care for yourself. And if you are able to, for example, if something, don't wait to say, okay, oh, I've got a car, that's when I'll celebrate myself. No. If, for example, you say, okay, I want to start exercising, and today you're able to go down your flight of stairs 2 times a day, celebrate yourself. You celebrate the small victories, that's where you start. So if you are able to celebrate small victories in your life, then definitely you'll be able to celebrate a bigger victory. And that's when you'll be able to celebrate another woman's small victory. You know, so it starts with yourself.
Okay, so for self-care, because sometimes there's some people that they can just put rules on themselves. Me, I know like where I get with one and me
Yes.
eat. Or me, I not like nails. Or me, I not like for makeup. Okay? But the other woman like them. And for that other woman, they help for build in your self-esteem. Where he do here nicely and where he make up and where he fix the nails or he do something. But in the society where we dey, even some woman them can end up for say, this all day make up. I not like you make up. Or all day you get fix nails. Or this na in like short clothes, na in like this. But that day na way we come be woman that they use for celebrate themselves.
Yes.
I don't know if you share that same view there. So
It's not too honest, because you see, most time them me I can always say not compare yourself with other person. Yeah, because when you begin to compare yourself with other person, you shortchange yourself. And what I mean by shortchange yourself, you think less about yourself. So somebody will say, oh, I feel bored, I feel tired. I'm gonna say, yeah. Now, so possible to celebrate. So I'm going to say, okay, make a woman go do fine makeup for me. I used to have makeup, I feel fine, I guess fine. When short clothes, I will feel few years younger and lighter. You understand? That's so some woman want to celebrate herself. You understand? So you see, person go there, the person go to celebrate himself. Then you go there, you only to corner. Everyone commenting about the person as you like to be mentioned. All they can go say, now pulling down syndrome. And pulling down syndrome, now one of the major things that really affects personal self-esteem.
yeah.
So until we, as women, then we get to learn we get to learn for focus on letting the way be able for change. They think they will get influence over. Not look at other person in your own way, so you know we're able for change them. You will just make you heart heavy and make the other person uncomfortable.
Alright. So yes, we don't identify some things the way they do for celebrate yourself. Again, sometimes then you get things the way you like other than well, for make you here for this. Sometimes then you go wake up on a morning and you say, I want to celebrate myself today. You go to market, you cook your favorite meal. You cook your favorite meal, you eat it, or you say, me own way I want to celebrate myself today. Now for wear me best clothes. You wear your best clothes. You go out, you celebrate yourself. Let you know say you get for celebrate yourself for build up your self-esteem. You can celebrate your birthday if you want. Because for me, birthday, if you not celebrate, nobody not get for celebrate time for you. You can celebrate other anniversaries them around you. Now where's the day where you use for celebrate yourself? I just want for come back to another important thing which can also affect with self-esteem. Then about party business, friendship. You feel to say one way for build your self-esteem now for let you get party then?
Well, Alice, like you always say, no, what am I not supposed to be an island? Yeah. No matter how we get for rub shoulders with person. Yeah. One animal was not a was back. You understand? But as much as man, you get for no self for the boundaries. Yeah. And one thing we can affect with our business, now where we can feel entitled to that friendship. Because for me, when you're a person in party, that don't mean to say the person for the do always the person for do that which you want. Not forgetting say this person himself gets your life, this person himself gets what he likes, what he hates. So as a friend, you get to also understand that about the other person. And another thing again, most time them in the relationships when they build the friendship, the love relationship, we bound to make mistakes. So if you get party, that party they make mistake, I think you get for if the party ain't able to understand what you understand, try to make you understand. See, mistakes are not all mistakes are bad. Some mistakes allow you to grow. You understand? So mistakes, if you don't make them, you need to go to the next level.
Right. So you don't talk about two things. For say in party business, you get forget what we call values.
Yes.
Okay. And if you and the party, if una values they're not aligned, you feel to say that party in a party business where you for continue for all long too.
Now that make us say they set boundaries. You understand? If you say this person here in values not right, you just to be confident enough for know which part of friendship are they block this person on. Are they put this person as a personal friend or they put this person as an acquaintance? You understand? Now that make you get for as mortal man, you get for able for know what you want in life, and you get for able for know how to draw certain boundaries, especially with interacting with people. Some people they're necessary for making you be close to you. Some people are necessary for making you know them, but they don't need for be close to you. So those are the acquaintances.
Okay.
So and back, sometimes they go into some friendship when I can start as close friends. Along the way, something happening, that person they become an acquaintance. So the decision now for draw a line on that kind of friendship, then it gets certain things we get from this manager and we not be the same case by case.
Okay. So say if along the way you decide say this person I don't want to let me party again, you can make a new friend or you go just withdraw to yourself or say I just want to build my self-esteem, I don't want new party again. Or you can make new friends.
I don't think say if you put love and then we talking about love they would put by yourself. Also, we can for interacting with people, I don't think if you put love by yourself. You know some people they need to interact with certain people because they feel that's what a possibility.
Yes.
You understand? And one very strong recipe but friendship that judgment. You understand? You shouldn't be judgmental. If you say this person is your friend, then don't be judgmental. If you feel that this person has so you did, not assume for them. Talk to them. You understand? Any friendship you need to forget open and frank conversation. That's not friendship. You understand? Because as paddy, you know, for day around you paddy and they pick and choose which you for talk. If you get to that point in a friendship, then you get for as in Nigeria, you get for waka.
Yes.
You understand?
Waka pass.
Yeah.
Okay. The other two one for talk about now mistakes in life. You know, because we all not perfect, we strive towards perfection. And most of the time we can feel to say we perfect, other people are not perfect, and we all liable to mistakes.
Sure.
So if you make mistake, you for stuck in that mistake there, or you for gap or move forward. How you see that thing?
Like I said, just know, Alice, mistakes make you grow. But again, not to rocket science, not to magic. It takes a very strong willpower. You understand? For make mortal man, you realize, say, I don't make mistake. You know, in this journey of self-esteem, Alice, one thing you get for land at the party, you get for being strongest critic. You get for able for look yourself and able for say, no, this year shall not take that one fine. You understand? You get for being hard on yourself. You understand? Because now only when you're able for feel comfortable for being strongest critic, then you're able for be honest to other people then. And not criticize them because you want to criticize them, but criticize them for when they grow. You understand? So if we make mistakes, also you make the mistake, no look at it again. Look how you want to go and learn from that mistake.
So the two we don't learn back by this talk today. Now we Zainab we say you bound for make mistakes, and you forbid you own critique. When you don't make mistake, realize and say you don't make mistake, and find ways that we go able for overcome that mistake, because you don't see as something you don't learn that lesson there. And while you go feel say you not go able for make that mistake there again. Yeah. Then the other thing I want for let me talk about now about exercise. How you feel to say when you dey exercise, it dey help for build your self-esteem?
You know, from a scientific point of view, yeah. Then get I know can call it term, and I don't call it term, but I get certain thing them when they define, say, if you exercise certain things that within your body, they give you some high. You understand? So that alone na one positive benefit for exercise. You know. But one mistake we can do at responsible. Now the fact you feel say pass go to gym before exercise. You know, you just say no need for going to gym for exercise. Even in your backyard, even in your veranda. It just depends on how many steps you want for take. Now technology don't be involved before. Then we phone here, so they all get step counters. You understand? Even if you're in office, if you're in boss, if you're in office, make sure so you whatever with the people they near you. You understand? So if it's not like that you desk say you must grab coffee and water. You must grab coffee and coffee. You understand? So that way you could not exercise more. You know, or program yourself say after, because most time we then career women here, and we don't get stuck on the desk to really get much time for exercise, because by the time we get weekend, now that's any one for you can do
Catch up all the
posting them. You understand? So we just need for program we say okay, and then our host and man not put bread in me, put biscuit here, put water here, put drink here, make her push them far. At least if I don't say I want to give a grab you understand? Because exercise is very essential. It's very essential for we health, it's essential for we growth, and it also essential for making me feel good inside. We get for good esteem.
Alright. So we will know the exercise. We get for land say one way for build your self-esteem now for let you exercise. We get what they call long walk. You can come on and you host and waka, maybe go up the junction and come down back. And when you do a 110 to say, you say, okay, now I need to stop at the junction, let go to that shop. You work at it, you reach at the shop, because they get this order, it's therapeutic as well. Okay. Because as you go, you they celebrate yourself, say, now me they do this so, now me they work as so, and you they be proud of yourself. Okay, so Zainab, we don't talk a lot about self-esteem. So you feel to say, oh, let's say that we don't enlighten. So you feel to say it can make a woman feel empowered?
Yes, Alice, it will definitely make a woman feel empowered, because empowerment comes in two ways. Empowerment comes in how people then they see you, but most importantly, how you they see yourself. Because you get to look your internal power, you get to look with how much steam you don't accumulate inside of you to a point where you feel so you will now outflow. You understand? Until you get that inner strength. It will be very difficult for you to identify say you're not empowered woman. Because it takes that inner strength from you for you to outflow that show of empowerment.
Yeah. So another thing where we don't learn, because we know say we can't see something and they not too safe for we, and even community safe they help for bring we can do. Because I remember 1 or 2 times where at the exercise you go see at the past people they just make them get the statement but me.
Yes.
But say, hey, the mommy, you know, some kind of way go make something. I go shame for passing and that, or I not use that. I just stop the exercise. But you get for go beyond that because you know people then go talk, they go try for bring you kind of. But you know, say you get that you self-will, that you self-esteem where you get for being. I want to say thank you so much, Zainab, for where you don't kind of this station and where you don't enlighten me a little bit about what self-esteem is all about. And I hope say we're going to call you again, you know, for can talk on some other critical issues. Thank you so much, and I wish you the very best in all what you do. And I just want to say, if this is your first time tuning in to Chat with Nene Alice, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to send in your comments, because together we can all improve on this channel. So I wish you all, our viewers out there, a pleasant day. Thank you so much.